What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, the Education 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please continue to check and subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. And today is week 2 of the NFL season. Well, had a very exciting week 1, some classic finishes, some shocking upsets, some incredible wins, some classics. We had a classic for the very first Monday Night Football game of 2019 between the Texans and the Saints. And in 48 seconds, let's go to the last 48 seconds. Texans go down the field. Incredible drive by Deshaun Watson. They hit Kenny Stills in the end zone. Texans go up 1, but you left Drew Brees with about 30 seconds on the clock, and he went down the other way. Will Lutz kicked a game-winning 58-yard field goal, and the Saints were able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, beating the Texans by 2 points. We also had the Jets, blowing a 16-0 lead, ended up losing by 1. We had the Raiders making a statement early on the Monday night, beating the Broncos in Oakland, despite everything that happened to them with Antonio Brown, which was incredible. So this is just a small sample of what we had for the first week, and week 2 promises to be even more exciting. The NFL is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. If you can believe it, it really is incredible how long football has been around. And this is also the 50th year of Monday Night Football, which is another, another gem and just another milestone for the NFL and how far they've come. And I'm telling you this, we're going to see, I think, some very exciting football games, particularly in this milestone year of this league. I think we're going to be due for some more classic football games, and I think we're going to see some more surprises as the NFL season continues to unwind. So with that being said now, let's go to our game predictions for week 2, and let's hit the music. And here we go. So let's begin with the very first game on the board. Well, New England, Miami. First game for Antonio Brown of the year. And of course, New England, a very familiar opponent with the Dolphins. In fact, the Dolphins seem to always find a way to beat New England. And I don't say that very much because New England usually never loses. So, but still, Miami was coming off a terrible performance last week. They got manhandled by Baltimore, and with the rebuild they're going through and seeing that Ryan Fitzpatrick had to even start the game and then got taken out, I don't really have a lot of confidence going forward with Miami. So despite usually their struggles with them, I predict New England is going to win this game very convincingly and sound. Tom Brady will throw for 350 yards. He'll throw 3 touchdown passes. I predict 2 of them will go to Antonio Brown. And Patriots will win the game 35-10. I think that's fair enough. I don't think the Dolphins crack 10 points, more than 10 points. Next game, Arizona and Baltimore. Well, Kyler Murray showed the world a little bit of what he was. Despite playing horrible for 3 quarters, he somehow found a way to rally and get his troops back against the Lions, and the game ended in a tie. But that worked against the Lions defense. That does not work against the Ravens defense. Terrell Suggs will be playing against his old team in M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, but I predict more of the same. Baltimore will do exactly what it did last week to the Dolphins with their punishing defense and their incredible offense from Lamar Jackson. The Ravens are going to win this game pretty soundly. I predict, again, another blowout. The Ravens will put up 48 points. They'll beat the Cardinals 48-17. Lamar Jackson will throw for another 360 yards, and he'll throw another 3 touchdown passes. I think that's only fair to say. So the Ravens will win that game very, very punishingly. And now we go to our next game, and that is the 49ers and the Bengals. And let's go into this one for just a moment now. So Jimmy Garoppolo made his triumphant return to the NFL and led the Niners past the Buccaneers 31-17. The Bengals are coming off a tough 1-point loss to the Seahawks, and still without A.J. Green, you kind of see how different this Bengals team is. Even though they have Andy Dalton, they just don't look like the same team without A.J. It's just so different. So I predict we're going to see another. This will be a close game, though. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means. But I think Jimmy G is going to lead the Niners once again to a clear victory. Niners will win this game 21-17. I think that's close enough. And Garoppolo will throw for about 200 yards. He'll throw one touchdown pass. Fair enough. All right, next game, Chargers and the Lions. The Lions are coming off that tie to the Cardinals, and, well, the Chargers look as good as they've looked, and I'll tell you this much, news I'm hearing, Melvin Gordon will eventually return to them, so not now, but in a few weeks, Melvin Gordon will be back. Not by probably week 7 or 8, or even later in the year. I think by like 11 or so he'll be back, but the Chargers really showed you they have enough offense and enough of a game that they can play without Melvin Gordon for the time being. So, can you imagine when they get him back how deadly they're going to be? My goodness. But right now, Eckler's handled the running game well. You have Phillip Rivers. You have enough weaponry to throw the ball to. So I predict this will be another pretty easy win for the Chargers. It'll be a couple possessions, but they're gonna wallop the Lions once again. 28-14, I predict, will be the score for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers will throw for 315 yards. He'll throw 2 touchdown passes. Next game, Minnesota, Green Bay, a classic NFC North match. It'll be in the tundra of Lambeau. Rodgers against Cousins. Well, if we saw any indication, and again, the Packers showed you in week 1 a little bit of what their defense could do. Yeah, they only won that game, I get it, 10-3. It was not a very high-scoring game, but I think the Packers have something to show to the world as far as what their defense did. And, of course, when you have Aaron Rodgers, you love your chances. This is going to be a close game, though. Vikings play a great defense. I don't deny that. So, I'm going to predict, though, the Green Bay Packers, since it's at Lambeau, they should have the edge. Green Bay is going to win this game. Close game. 28-24. Aaron Rodgers will throw for 260 yards. He'll throw the big touchdown late like he always seems to do. The Packers will hold on for a 4-point win. Next game, Houston and Jacksonville in Houston. Well, what Houston showed you in the world was they could hang with the big boys, and they almost defeated the Saints. And the Texans are going to want a little payback after losing the game like they did. It was a tough loss. It just came down to a guy hit a 58-yard field goal. Enough said. So, Deshaun Watson against, well, now Nick Foles is out, so you have to wonder if Minshew's going to play or if they're going to even go to one of their other backups. We'll see if they're going to do so. But the Jaguars losing Foles was like the worst thing to happen to them. And yes, Leonard Fournette's there, but it's just not enough. I predict the Texans are going to come out with a vengeance. Deshaun Watson's going to go off. Texans win this game pretty convincingly, 28-13. Fair enough. Giants-Bills at MetLife. Well, the Bills squeaked by the Jets last week. Will they do that against the Giants? We'll have to see. But Josh Allen has definitely shown what he can do in the NFL, not just throwing the ball, but running it as well. But going up against Eli, going up against Saquon Barkley, this will be a closer game, but I think the Giants should run away with this game easy. It'll be close. I'm not saying it'll be blow me away, but the Giants will put up enough points to outslug the Bills. My prediction, 35-24. Eli Manning will throw for 370 yards. He'll throw 3 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley will have a couple of them running into the end zone. Next, Seattle and Pittsburgh. Well, I was confident with Seattle week 1. I thought the Steelers were going to put up a fight against New England last week, but you definitely saw with the Steelers for the first week, there are a lot of holes in that Steelers offense. And you really see the difference losing Le'Veon Bell and losing Antonio Brown. That Steelers team is just not the same this year. Yeah, you have Big Ben. Yes, you have Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, you have Connor. But the Steelers don't have that explosiveness on offense that they had when Brown and Bell were playing. So I don't see the Steelers repeating that again for this game either. I think the Seahawks are going to, even though it's at Pittsburgh, I see Russell Wilson winning this game. The Steelers will make this a close game, but the Seahawks will hold on. I'm going to say they win 24-20. It'll be a close game, but Russell Wilson will throw for enough, 230. He'll get about 1 touchdown. I think that's fair. Indianapolis, Tennessee. Well, Colts are not happy losing to the Chargers last week. They had that game won. Vinatieri missed an extra point during the game that cost them. So now they go into Tennessee, who walloped the Browns 43-13. I don't see the Titans repeating that a second time. I think Jacoby Brissett's going to find a way this week. It's not a strong Colts team. Obviously, Andrew Luck retired, but I think the Colts have as good a shot of anyone at beating the Titans. It'll be close. I'm going to say the Colts hang on to win 20-13. Brissett will do enough. He'll run for a touchdown. Maybe Marlon Mack will run one in. And Colts will win this game by one possession. Dallas and Washington. Prescott against Case Keenum. Well, Dallas definitely put on a statement win against the Giants in Dallas last week. And tell you what, if Dak Prescott really has turned the corner as a quarterback this year, and with a healthy Ezekiel Elliott, and then you have Amari Cooper to throw the ball to, with the return of Jason Witten, I think the Cowboys could be due to have a very special year. I know it's early, but I kind of like the Cowboys in this game. I just don't... You already saw what happened with the Redskins last week. They had the Eagles kind of right where they wanted them and ended up blowing the game. So I predict the same thing will kind of happen again to the Redskins. They'll get a lead late, but Dallas is going to find a way to beat them. So my prediction, Dallas will win this game. It'll be about 2 possessions. They win... Let's say they win 27-19. So it'll be a big touchdown late by Amari Cooper that will seal the game for Dallas. Now on to our 4 o'clock games. Kansas City and Oakland, a classic AFC West matchup in the Black Hole. Oakland coming off a very emotional victory on Monday night against the Broncos. Really a game for Derek Carr to make a statement after everything that happened with them and Antonio Brown. And Derek Carr came out through for 200-plus yards. This kid, Josh Jacobs, looks like the real deal, a very impressive young running back for this team. And with Darren Waller at the tight end position, I think the Raiders really showed you something for week 1. I know it's early. Now, I don't know if that's going to quite carry over against the Chiefs when you're playing Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be a little different ballgame. But I think the Raiders will give Mahomes a real fight. I think this will be a close game. But my prediction, Andy Reid and the Chiefs are gonna squeak out the victory. I'm going to say 31-27. I think that's a very good score for the Raiders. I think that it will really show them who they are. Derek Carr, I predict, is going to throw for 270 yards. Patrick Mahomes, I predict, will throw for 330, and he'll throw for 4 touchdown passes. I just figure Tyreek Hill, LaShawn McCoy, the running game of the Chiefs, I think will have its way with the Raiders' defense. The Broncos just didn't have enough offense. Even though you had Joe Flacco, they just weren't able to crack that Raider defense at a critical time. So I predict, though, the Chiefs are not going to make that same mistake the Broncos did. So the Chiefs win 31-27. And speaking of Denver, they're playing the Chicago Bears in Denver. And, well, the Bears really kind of worry you a little bit. I know they have a great defense, but the way they played against the Packers for their first game and only put up 3 points, you kind of have to wonder, is Mitchell Trubisky taking a few steps back? That worries me a little bit. It really does. So I predict the Broncos are going to find a way. It's going to be in Denver. I think the Broncos will do enough. This won't be a high-scoring game, but the Broncos with Flacco will find a way to win. My prediction, they win 19-14. I think it's fair enough. Lindsey will have a touchdown to seal it. Okay, then we have a classic rematch from the NFC Championship game. The Saints and the Rams in L.A. And I'll tell you what, the Saints are probably fuming and they are probably foaming at the mouth to take down the Rams, who they feel, and really not them internally, the referees literally screwed New Orleans out of a Super Bowl last year. No doubt about it. Jared Goff against Drew Brees. You like the matchup with Goff. You like the quarterback matchup. But I'm going to say this. The Saints are going to play with a vengeance, even being the road team. And Drew Brees is going to go all over the Rams. I won't be surprised if the Saints unleash everything they have. And the Saints are going to win this game by 2 possessions. Saints win 45-34. 27. Drew Brees will have one of his best games of the year. He'll throw for 400 plus yards. And I think it'll be Michael Thomas that will carry the load for the Saints. And finally, the Monday Night Football game, Browns and Jets. Jets playing very depleted. No Darnold, no Quinnen Williams, no Mosley. Le'Veon Bell is beat up. You're starting Trevor Siemian. You signed Demaryius Thomas, but you're going up against a PO'd Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns, who got walloped by the Titans last week. Odell Beckham's already talked smack this week about Greg Williams. So you have to kind of wonder who really needs this game. I'm going out on a limb here, and maybe call me crazy, but I think the Browns are a little too cocky for their own good. I predict the Jets win this game somehow, in some way, shape, or form. I predict the Jets will find a way to win this game. 22-17. Siemian, I think, will do enough. I think Thicken, the kicker, is going to provide them with big field goals. And I think Le'Veon Bell will finally have that breakout game for the Jets in this one. So those are my NFL predictions for Week 2, and we will see where will this NFL season saga continue. Jonathan Perriente, The Education 10, saying bye for now.